Selectmen. Valley has always meant a lot to me because of how I've grown up in the Lakes region and my love of hiking forever and a day. I spend a lot of time here, and I think that I've gotten to have a lot of friends. Thank you again for your friendship. And I look forward to again being able to represent the Valley in Concord. And I think I've had a long time relationship up here and love to be here every day. One of the proudest things that I did when I was in Congress, not alone obviously, was with John Sununu and Bernie Sanders, we created the Wild River Wilderness and the Sandwich Wilderness. And it was very tough to get that through the process, but we did. And certainly when I go up, as I was on the Carters this winter, and look over toward the Baldface Mountains, it epitomizes the valley, the beauty of the White Mountains, the importance of tourism in New Hampshire, and I think that any of us that were able to work to get this done would love to be where I was this winter and look down into the Wild River and think, you know what, this is going to be something special for generations.
Why do you think this race is getting so much attention, maybe nationally?
Well, it's the only race, it's the only race in town, and so normally you've got 24 state senate races and a governor's race and congressional races, maybe a U.S. Senate, maybe a presidential race. This, because it's the only race, creates the prominence, and the prominence, quite frankly, of the problems facing the state. And it's going to be a test, if you will, of what direction the state should take. Are we going to balance the budget by making cuts that bring us back toward a level of spending that we can afford, or are we going to raise all sorts of new taxes? So I think it's a very interesting race in that regard too, because it's going to be a snapshot of what people are thinking, obviously, in this Senate district.
How much is the government, last term, the Republicans are saying that there was the Democrats are proposing a state budget increase of 17%. The Democrats will say, no, that wasn't it. Like, how much of the fiscal problems we have now are because of excess spending or just the revenue being short?
Spending went up in the last budget by 17%. I mean, that is a fact. And now, as the economy is, taken a nosedive, revenues have also declined precipitously, and we simply, can't afford that. The bills have come due. The Democrats in the legislature are proposing, at least in the House, another 3%, roughly 3% increase in spending on top of the 17% in the last budget. And on top of that, are not funding, certainly a huge issue for the Valley, building aid and municipal revenue sharing. For Conway, the lack of funding for school building aid, $83 million, will cost Conway and the taxpayers here $1.6 million. And so there's this huge hole that's going to be filled by property taxes if it's not corrected. And I've made it really clear that there is no way we can pass those kind of costs along to property taxpayers. It's a state obligation. Voters not only in Conway but every town across the state have taken out bond issues to build schools with a promise that the state is going to meet its commitment that has historically been a commitment, an ironclad commitment of paying 55% of the cost of building aid.
But I'm sorry, but I missed that. I don't understand how